Hello, my name is Ishtiyaq Shajahan. I'm a rising senior, and for my final project for PO316, Race and the Politics of Criminal Justice Policy, I've chosen the Brownsville Community Justice Center. And welcome to my presentation. The title is Rethinking Justice in Brownsville: How a Brooklyn-based initiative challenges the carceral state. The Brownsville Community Justice Center is an organization that offers a community-driven response to crime and safety in New York. We'll examine how it fits into broader debates about mass incarceration, reform, and abolition using concepts and readings from the course. The problem. Brownsville faces concentrated poverty, police violence, and incarceration. Brownsville, Brooklyn has one of the highest rates of gun violence and incarceration in NYC. Residents face systemic neglect, racial profiling, and punitive policing. Traditional criminal justice responses have deepened these harms. This is the social context the Justice Center is trying to transform. What is the Brownsville Community Justice Center? It was founded by the Center for Justice Innovation, formerly known as the Center for Court Innovation. It's located in Brownsville, Brooklyn, where it targets high incarceration and poverty rates. They offer key programs like Project Reset, Brownsville Youth Court, and Osborne Plaza Placemaking. The Justice Center works to prevent incarceration, empower young people, and create alternatives to punishment. Programs include a youth cohort, Project Reset, diversion for misdemeanors, and revitalizing public space. It's housed in a community court, but partners with schools, families, and residents. What is the mission and model of Brownsville Community Justice Center, otherwise known as BCJC? So it's prevention, restoration, community empowerment. The center's goals are to reduce reliance on incarceration, improve safety, and build trust. Instead of jail, it offers mentorship, conflict resolution, and service learning. It empowers residents to co-create justice. This reflects a harm reduction, restorative justice model. What is consistent with forced teachings? Systemic racism and the carceral state. Michelle Alexander argues that mass incarceration is a racial caste system. Brownsville's over-policing fits that model. James Foreman Jr. complicates this by showing how Black officials also participated in punitive policy. BCJC disrupts both trends by centering community-led, racially just alternatives. Is this a reform or an abolitionist intervention? According to Berger, Kaba, and Stein, non-reformist reforms reduce carceral power. BCJC fits this model. It doesn't expand policing, rather creates off-ramps from it. In contrast, Barthélemy shows how civilian oversight can be co-opted and fail. BCJC has more autonomy and community trust. Resistance and implementation. As we saw in the DOJ Ferguson report and Barthélemy, implementation matters. Even good ideas fail without resources or will. BCJC avoids this by being embedded in the neighborhood, not imposed from above. It's more durable and more accountable to local needs. What is inconsistent with course teachings? Unlike many state-linked reforms, BCJC has succeeded in maintaining credibility among community members. Its connection to the court system is not necessarily a red flag. Instead of expanding surveillance, it diverts young people from contact with the carceral system entirely. Unlike many examples in this course, this organization survives with public and philanthropic support, rather than being crushed, as with the Panthers or the Review Board in NYC. This complicates what we've seen in class. Not all reforms tied to the state are doomed. BCJC shows it's possible to build institutional alternatives from within the system if they are rooted in community power and supported over time. Why I support the Brownsville Community Justice Center. It invests in youth, not punishment. BCJC treats young people as leaders and problem solvers, not threats. It builds community power. Programs like Osborne Plaza and the Youth Leadership Council show what it means to create justice with people, not to them. It models what justice could look like. Instead of relying on police, courts, or incarceration, it imagines and it enacts alternatives rooted in care, accountability, and local control. It works in the real world. Unlike some purely theoretical reforms, BCJC is doing the work, diverting youth, reducing harm, and restoring public spaces in one of NYC's most over-policed neighborhoods. I support BCJC because it embodies what this course helped me understand justice could be. It doesn't just try to reduce harm, it actively builds new civic infrastructure. It trains youth, restores public space, and centers the people most affected by carceral violence. In a system that often only knows how to punish, BCJC shows us how to repair. That's not just admirable, it's urgent. Toward justice that works. Final takeaways. Brownsville Community Justice Center isn't perfect, but it gives us a glimpse of what justice could look like without cages. It reduces harm, centers the community, and challenges the assumptions of the carceral state. It shows that meaningful change is possible if we invest in people, not punishment. Lessons and implications. What can we learn from Brownsville? It's a model for other communities. It demonstrates how community courts can address harm without relying on incarceration. It also bridges reform and abolition. It shows how non-reformist reforms can reduce carceral power while building alternatives. And lastly, it highlights implementation challenges. Even promising models need structural and political support to scale or sustain impact. Brownsville's models offer a key lesson. Alternatives to incarceration are already working. They just need investment and legitimacy. This is an example of a non-reformist reform that doesn't just improve the carceral state, but builds a new kind of justice. At the same time, it reveals the limitations of isolated efforts. Without deeper policy shifts or political will, these initiatives can remain marginal. It reminds us that changing systems is about building new institutions, not just critiquing old ones.